I'm about to hit you everywhere but under your feet with this one. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. How y'all doing out there? We got to talk about this fight that happened tonight. I wish I would have betted one of y'all. I wish I would have betted one of y'all on this fight. Um, Chris Eubank Jr. You know, I like Chris Eubank Jr. I said that before. I like what he brings to the table. Um, he's a power puncher. Not as skilled as most boxers, but at the end of the day, Chris Eubank Jr. He brings to the table what he brings to the table, and I love that about Chris Eubank. Baby, baby, close the door, please. And I love what Chris Eubank Jr. brings to the table. At the end of the day, he's a power puncher, brawler. You can't say he got that much skill set, but at the end of the day, he brings what he brings. And I was expecting and hoping that he come out on top in this fight, and he did just that. I watched the highlights. Liam Smith, he made him look bad. He made him look bad. And this is coming from a guy whose own father. I have to say this because I despise the fact that Chris Eubank Sr. would ever say this about his own son, but this is coming from a guy whose own father says he will never be a champion. So I hate that. And, I'm happy that he went out there and proved to the world, he's a caliber fighter, that the first fight was a fluke, which I think we all know elbow was landed in that fight, which you could tell the bruise on Chris Eubank Jr.'s face. And now they're saying that he has an opportunity to go and face somebody for the IBF championship. And I hope he's winning that. Yeah, Bomac is shutting everybody's mouth. Trainer of the year, no doubt. He deserves that accolade. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. If you can get to Derrick James, you can get to two-time undisputed champion, and then he comes back and trains another fighter from a loss, and he comes back and does a domination. So, of course, Bomac deserves Trainer of the Year. And that's the other part of my title of the video. Does this prove that Bomac is the best trainer out there? Does this prove it? Now, of course, we have to go back to the, point where I was saying about Derrick James. Some trainers just have talented fighters. Like I talk trash about Derrick James, about the Charlo, and about Errol Spence. Errol was a unified champion. Charlo was an undisputed champion. Sometimes trainers just run across top caliber fighters. But when it comes to the situation of Bomac, in which you can bring up the Amir Khan situation, Amir Khan went over there, and Amir Khan, went against Kell Brook. A fight that I felt he was going to lose anyway for years, not to take nothing away from him, but people have been waiting almost 10 years on Amir Khan versus Kell Brook. And finally, Amir Khan, stood up and decided he wanted to fight Kell Brook, and he came out, losing in that fight. And that was one thing that Lion Smith was bringing up, the fact of, y'all saying this and that about Bomac, but yet Amir Khan went over there and got beat too. Well, we all know Amir Khan was chinny. And at that time, we all know that Amir Khan was looking for big paydays, which was the only reason that he fought Kell Brook. Because when Amir Khan was out there, flourishing and shining, getting big paydays, he never wanted to fight Kell Brook. That right there let me know from jump that Kell Brook had to get the advantage of him when they said they ever sparred or anything. But it happened, and people criticize Bomac because Amir Khan lost. One thing we've learned from watching boxing, you can't blame a trainer from a loss. You can't blame a trainer from a loss. Amir Khan went over there with Bomac because he felt that Bomac was the best guy who was suitable for him to go out there and defeat Kell Brook, and he didn't. But we got a situation of today where Chris Eubank Jr. went out there and he dominated. You seen Chris Eubank Jr. go back to his old ways. I was watching that round by round, hearing the round by round on Fight Hype, and if I was Bomac, one thing that would have pissed me off with Chris Eubank Jr. was the multiple combinations in the corner. When Chris Eubank Jr. would have came back to my corner, I would have told him, don't you ever go do that again. Don't you ever go back out there and throw a 50 punch combination for no reason. You're supposed to time him. You're supposed to put him up on the ropes. You're supposed to see the shots that was available. You tired yourself out. Now against a smart fighter, in which the body shots, I heard about the left hand body shots from Chris Eubank Jr. That probably slowed Liam Smith down. But against a top caliber opponent, I would never want my fighter to go out there and do what Chris Eubank did, throwing 50 shots in 30 seconds. The only way you should do that is if you go out there and you rest for damn near 2 rounds, because you just threw your whole load out trying to beat somebody up in the corner. And which I can understand that, the trash talk that was going on, Liam Smith, his trash talk. Of course, Chris Eubank Jr. wanted to go out there and show the public like he's not on my level. But at the same time, you have to be smart. And it also showed that Chris Eubank Jr. really doesn't, in my opinion, think in the ring like he's supposed to. Because after time, as you seen, or as y'all saw, whoever watched the fight, he could eventually just broke him down without doing that. He didn't have to catch him in the corner and throw 50 combinations at him to try to knock him out. To me, that was just showboating. And that showboating could have cost you in the end against a small fighter. Because now I know you didn't throw your load. I know you probably tired. Next round, I'm trying to come in there and knock you out. But at the end of the day, he came out victorious. I think it was with a 10th round stoppage. And it proved that Liam Smith was not on Chris Eubank Jr.'s level. And I just hope to see Chris Eubank Jr., go get a title. I hope he fights somebody for a title soon, which I don't know how he's going to do that. I think is he at 168, right? He's at 168 if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how you're going to do that. Well, they said somebody's open for IBF, so he got to be at 160. He has to be at 160. And I hope he get that title shot for the IBF. I hope he becomes a worldwide champion, to shut his father up, because I hate what his father have to say about him. But at the end of the day, we got to give Bomac his props as well. People was criticizing it. Well, Liam Smith and his team, Bomac can't show him nothing. It's too short a time for Bomac to show him. That's not going to help him. Well, it looked like it helped him a lot, especially with the throwing the jab, throwing the uppercut, knowing that Liam Smith was going to have his high guard up after you threw that uppercut or a punch, and then going to the body. That was Bomac and his team all day. So you got to give respect to Bomac for what he did and what he taught Chris Eubank Jr. in 4 weeks. 4 weeks. So, of course, Bomac deserves to be the best trainer in boxing this year. Not saying in the world. Before people get on here and they try to criticize and say, Bomac this and Bomac that, or Bomac weight ain't got nothing to do with what he teaching fighters. All this talking about he big and how a trainer gonna be big like that, and evidently it ain't stopping nothing, because he got a 2-time undisputed champion of the world, and he just gave a guy who came off a loss against another guy, gave him a game plan that was excellent to go out there and beat him. So why can't y'all give him his credit? Why can't he get his credit? Because, people hate Terrence Crawford. They hate what he's accomplished. They hate that he's a two-time undisputed champion of the world. Something that a lot of these fighters have not done. Even your favorite fighter, Manny Pacquiao, even your favorite fighter, Floyd Mayweather, have never been undisputed. I don't care which way you try to push it, what narrative you try to pull, they have never been undisputed. And undisputed is the biggest accomplishment in boxing, not pound for pound. Not pound for pound, undisputed. Which is why you hear Floyd Mayweather telling Devin Haney, let go of the 4 belts. They cost too much to sanction the fees. Floyd, how you know? How you know, Floyd? And don't get it twisted, I'm a fan of Floyd Mayweather, some of the best skills I ever seen in my life. But how you know, Floyd? How you know how much the 4 belts cost? Because you ain't never had 4 belts at one time. Y'all love talking about the 50-0, the 24 champions he beat, but has he been undisputed? No. no. So I want to give a shout out to my boy Chris Eubank Jr. Keep Bomac in your corner. You know what I'm saying? Go for that IBF title. Prove your father wrong. I don't know why he's so bitter and crazy. But what man would literally get up there and say, my son will never be a champion? Even if you had to lie. Even if you had to lie, where's the motivation for your son to go out there and be a champion? Something that you did to accomplish something. Are you afraid, Chris Eubank Sr., are you afraid that your son might end up being greater than you? Do you have something against your son? Because me personally, as a boxer, if my child wanted to box and I was a champion, I want him to be the best champion in the world. I want him to show that our bloodline consists of nothing but champions. But for a father to say that, it's something wrong with Chris Eubank Sr. Something is really wrong with him. I don't understand it. You know, sometimes people say, your father. Some people may say, well, he's just telling the truth. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe Chris Eubank Sr. sees something in his son. He probably ain't got the eye of the tiger. Maybe Chris Eubank Jr. slack on training. But at the end of the day, why would you downgrade your own son? Also, before I get off, I got to talk about Conor Benn. Conor Benn on his fertility pills taking ass. Conor Benn stood up there and said, oh, he didn't look that good to me, and Liam Wilson had ankle injuries, and whatever injuries he had, his ass signed the contract and got in the ring. That ain't got nothing to do with Chris Eubank Jr. If Liam Wilson would have beat Chris Eubank Jr. with them ankle injuries that y'all here saying that he had, y'all wouldn't care. So if you getting that with an injury and your ankle injury, I'm gonna take advantage of it. We signed for a fight. We didn't sign a Care Bear package for me to go out there and care whether or not you're injured or whether your ankles are hurting or whatever going on. Liam Wilson was sitting there talking ball shit for all the same thing with the Errol Spence Terrence Crawford fight. He was out there talking ball shit about what he gonna do to Chris Eubank Jr. Oh, it wasn't a fluke. I'm gonna knock you out again. I'm gonna beat you again. But yeah, here we go with people simply talking. Oh, his legs was injured. So Daniel Dubois just hit a dude right on the stomach and got cheated out of belt. Who gives a damn about him having injured ankles? He shouldn't have never fought. What about what happened to Daniel Dubois? Is anybody gonna be fair about that? Are you usually fans gonna tell the truth and be honest that man hit him fair and square in his stomach and dropped him, and he's supposed to be the unified heavyweight champion of the world? Are any of y'all gonna admit that? Yeah. So don't be sitting up here crying about Liam Smith and his ankles. Don't nobody give a damn. I don't. Shouldn't have signed the contract. Shouldn't have fought that night. Should have postponed it. But maybe Liam Smith was so confident that he may get another elbow in the fight. Maybe he was so confident that he may get another elbow win that he went through with it. And he went out there and he got dominated. So shout out to Chris Eubank Jr. But back to Conor Benn. Conor Benn. You got busted, bro, for cheating. And yet you want to come out to this day and act like you were something special or a caliber fighter. You were cheating. You said that there's unfinished business. The business wouldn't have been finished if you wouldn't have been cheating, Conor Benn. You need to go another route. You tried to weight drain Chris Eubank Jr., which I don't know why he did it. You know, it was a legacy fight because him and your father fought twice. You know, he wanted to go out there and, shut the legacy thing down, possibly beat you and shut you up. But why are you not chasing Keith Thurman, Jerron Ennis, Virgil Ortiz, Staniosis? Why you worried about Chris Eubank Jr.? See, that just shows how eager you are to win, and that was the reason that you cheated. You wanted to uplift your family by defeating Chris Eubank Jr. so bad that you went and cheated and took pills or whatever it was that you took. They said it was fertility pills to mask what you did, but you ain't a female. So we know you cheated, but you out there criticizing and talking trash about Chris Eubank Jr. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. So Connor Bean, you need to shut up. Shut your mouth, Connor Bean. Don't say nothing about Chris Eubank Jr. You need to go fight the caliber competition at 147 without using steroids. And then when you come back out of this fight, then we could say and see where you at. Because we don't know whether half of your fights you fought, we can't get you to win. Because why? You were on steroids. All that fast, hard punching you were doing, let's see with your next opponent, which they should random blood and urine test you. Let's see if you have that same power and speed now. Let's see if you have that same power and speed now since you've been caught cheating. Let's see that. Bomac is the trainer of the year, no doubt. Hands down, he's supposed to be trainer of the year. I ain't going to be on here that long, y'all. We got 9 more minutes. I just wanted to get on here and talk about the fight. You know, give my congratulations to Chris Eubank Jr. Shout out to Liam Smith. You know what I'm saying? You came out short, you know, but you should have known you was going to come out short, especially from that elbow you threw in the last fight that got you the victory. But, you know, everything comes to the light. Everything comes to the light, and unfortunately, your victory didn't. Once Bud beats Canelo, everyone will wake up all over again. I really don't want Bud to go up and fight Canelo Alvarez, but then to take risks in boxing, that's what makes you legendary. You know, so for him to move up them weight classes and fight Canelo, and especially if he wins, to be a 3-time undisputed champion, he the best that ever did it. Hands down. I don't care nothing about no Muhammad Ali, what y'all got to say about Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson. If this boy ain't going to be 3 times undisputed, he's the best fighter that ever did it. Hands down. Boots ain't going to take that challenge. Boots will get over there and get some of that UK money. Boots could go right over there and get some of that UK money, big bucks. But Boots such a weight bully. Boots a 168 pounder, 175 pounder, fighting at 147. That's why he rushing for them titles. If he stopped trying to be a weight bully and move up, Boots will do good. Boots will do good. But since he's trying to come down and fight little bitty guys that's smaller than him, like Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, knowing he a 168 pounder or more, he ain't gonna never get a title shot. And he don't deserve it anyway because he ain't fought nobody. He won't even call out caliber names that could get him in the limelight to the fights. Nobody knows nobody that Boots beat besides Sergey Lipinets. And Roker, if that's his name, because he beat Rashida Ellis. Wow, Rashida Ellis won a former champion. Rashida Ellis won a former champion. You ain't do nothing spectacular, nigga. You ain't do nothing spectacular. The hell? But I really hope Chris Eubank Jr. comes out victorious, and I hope he gets that IBF title shot. He deserves it. You know, Chris been around for a minute. I like Chris Eubank Jr. You know, got some ways of his father. You know, has an ego, very prideful, but you know that's how it's supposed to be in the sport of boxing. And I would love to see him become a champion before he leave the boxing game. You know, like I told you, I always root for the underdog. I hope the underdog always win. And I'm rooting for Chris Eubank Jr. And that's just what it is. I just want to thank y'all for y'all time, y'all love, and y'all support. I just had to make this video, speak on what I felt about the fight. Liam Smith, congratulations on, getting a payday. Thank you for the entertainment that you brought us tonight. But at the end of the day, it showed that that first fight was a fluke. You literally caught that man with an elbow and hurt him, and you had to pay for it tonight. So to all the boxing fans out there, I love y'all. Y'all be safe. This is your boy Easy Work Boxing. I'm out.